Lost a loved one recently? How to cope with the loss of a loved one? Give me the next 10 minutes and I will walk you through my process of clearing grief. And I also want to give you the Personal Peace Procedure Worksheet, which is the key to clearing all the different aspects of grief so that you can have ease and peace within. Drop me a line below this video and I will send it to you in Messenger. I won't even ask you for your name, for your email. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Nilofer Safdar, and I'm the owner of Energy Wise, where I have helped hundreds of women clear pain and suffering and angst, overwhelm, so that they can have ease and peace inside. In every single video, I teach you one tip or technique to heal from inside out. Now, give me the next 10 minutes and I will walk you through the process of clearing grief. Now, recently, someone said to me, I lost my father a few months back. And I've been very emotional at the loss of my dad. And I get it. I totally get it. I lost my dad a couple of years ago. I think it was in 2021. And I went through the whole process of grief. And I want to share with you today my the way that I have coped with grief. Drop me grief in the comments if you have lost a loved one. Oh, I lost my wife. I'm so sorry to hear that. So hopefully, something that I say can help you in your grieving process. So, first of all, when I lost my dad, just immediately after that, I just got really busy because I had to take care of all the other stuff, like the legal stuff, the property matters, and all of that. So, the next couple of months went like that. But later, after I, got free from all that, that's when it really hit. That's when the grief really, really hit me. And I went through the next few months in this state of like I was really emotional. Like I would think about my dad, and I just would start crying at all times. So the most important thing with me was that I did not suppress my emotions. I allowed my emotions to surface, and I was really present with my emotions. And this is one of the things that happens a lot. We don't want to feel the emotions, so we try to, stuff them down, and we use different strategies of stuffing our emotions. And it could be by, using comfort eating, or binge watching, or it could be substance abuse, or any of that. Yeah. So the first thing that I did was that I did not do that. I did not suppress my emotions. I stayed present with my emotions. And one of the things that I used in that time was back flower remedies, which is like BACH, back flower remedies. And you can go and search for these remedies online. And one particular remedy which really helped me in the grieving process was sweet chestnut. So you can buy these remedies, and these are like tinctures that you can pick up. And you can just put one drop of sweet chestnut in your bottle of water and keep drinking that water throughout the day. And it's like really very, very nurturing, and it kind of soothes you, I think, which was what was required for me at that point of time. The other thing that was going on with me was also that I was very hyper vigilant, because I had taken care of my dad, during his last few months. And every day, like my mom and I, we would wake up in the morning and not know how the day was going uh, to uh, to pan out, because it was like there would be different emergencies throughout the day. And so we were really in this state of hyper vigilance, and like we were really switched on all the time. And so at that point of time, what I started doing was I started doing body work. I started doing movements. Like literally, I would just put on some music and I would just move. And for me at that point of time, the only thing I could tolerate was like gentle movements. So sometimes I would just, blindfold myself, put on some soft music, and move in whatever way I felt good. And this kind of movement is really good for your nervous system, because if you are in a state of hyper vigilance, which is like, it's like you are like always queued up for danger. There's something going to happen, so I have to be very aware and very present. That's the hyper vigilance. And that's a sign of a dysregulated nervous system, because think of this, if you are faced with danger, then your body goes into the adrenaline. Those hormones get secreted, adrenaline, and you are in this state of, I have to, either fight or I have to run away from this danger, right? And so imagine being in that state all the time. And literally, that was how I was. So my nervous system was totally dysregulated. I was in that hyper vigilant state, and there was no way that my nervous system was calming down. So at that point of time, I learned that I could actually reset my nervous system if I did any kind of movement just for 2 minutes. Now, the important thing here is to kind of be aware that you do an intentional movement. And what I mean by this is you do journaling before. So like, just take a pen and paper and start writing in your book. And all the thoughts in your head, you're just putting it on paper. And I love journaling. And you will, when if you have heard me talk a lot, you will actually hear me talk a lot about journaling. I love journaling, and what it does is it removes all the thoughts which are buzzing around in your head, and you can just put it on paper. And you don't even have to like very particularly sit there and think about what you're going to write. Like you just start writing. So whatever is in your head is going to flow out on paper, and just keep writing and writing and writing until eventually at one point, you will go blank and there is nothing more to be written. And ideally, if you are going through a lot of emotional stuff, then this is how you should be doing journaling. Okay. So do journaling like this. And then keeping your awareness on that, like you're not actively thinking about it, but like with intention, you connect with it, you start moving your body. So if you move your body for 5 minutes, it's excellent. Actually, only moving your body for 2 minutes is going to reset your nervous system. But if you can move anything between 5 to 15 minutes, it's really amazing. So I started doing this, and I did this consistently every single day, and I did it for months on end. And really at that point, I could feel that sense of relaxation and that ease that showed up for me. Okay. Now also, what happens is when you do journaling, so when you are feeling really emotional, or when you are present to the emotion of sadness, which might go into depression, let me kind of talk about the 5 stages of grief over here. So just identify which stage you are at depending on when you have lost your loved ones. Number one is denial, which is like, this can't be happening to me. The next stage is anger. Why is this happening? Who is to blame for this? The third stage is bargaining, make this not happen, and in return I will do this. Okay, we are very familiar. The fourth stage is depression. I'm too sad to do anything. And the fifth stage is acceptance, which is like, I'm okay with what happened, I'm at peace with what happened. And basically we want to get to that stage of I'm at peace with what happened. But you really will not be able to get to that stage unless you have gone through the other stages. So, depending on how recently you have lost your loved one, you will be able to identify, you will be able to see what stage of grief you are at. So if you are at the denial stage, or the anger stage, or the blame stage, or the blame or bargaining stage, or the depression or acceptance, just identify which stage you are at, and then start doing journaling. And once you do the journaling, you can move your body to move those emotions out of your body. That is one way of doing it. The other way I do it is a process called releases, and this is a process with which I primarily work with my clients, because I can, like, we start with the emotion which is there right up in the face, and then in while I'm talking to them, I will kind of do the releases, and I also flow energy so that that emotion clears. So once that emotion clears, then what is underneath that comes up. Okay, and then we clear that emotion, then what is underneath that comes up, and then we clear that emotion, and we keep going until at one point, you just become peaceful, because in that particular time frame, that is how deep that you can go. You can only reach till that. And of course, you might have other stuff come up later, but in that particular session, that's how deep that it can go. So this is my process. Like, my thing with everything that I do is, no matter what is going on in my life around me, I want to be at ease and peace. So if I'm feeling grief, if I'm feeling sadness, if I'm feeling anger, whatever it is that I am feeling, I will work on it and I will clear it. And, until all of that goes away, and then what is left is ease and peace within. Now, you cannot clear stuff which is not active for you. So, for example, if you've lost a loved one and then you keep getting thoughts about them over and over again, it means that this grief is active in your system. And this is the best time in which you can work on it and you can actually clear it. So, I shared two particular techniques in this conversation today. You can use either one of them, and doing that will start to clear the grief slowly and steadily. And here's the thing, grief is not something that is going to go away in just one day or 2 days. You will have so many different aspects of it emerge, and if you consistently keep working on those aspects and clearing those aspects, then what's going to happen is eventually you will reach the fifth stage of grief, which is acceptance, which is, I'm at peace with what happens, which is where you can then think about that person and you won't feel that constriction inside. You won't feel the feeling of loss or whatever. You will be just able to see it with a neutral thing. So, I want to actually give you my personal peace procedure worksheet. And what this worksheet does is that it will actually help you to clear all the different aspects of grief so that you can have ease and peace within. The personal peace procedure worksheet is kind of like a journaling thing in which you will be able to uncover all the different aspects of grief, and then you can clear it. So if you want the personal peace procedure worksheet, just drop peace in the comments below and I will get it to you. And thank you so much for listening to me. If there is anything that I can help you with regards to your grieving process or anything else, feel free to send me a message or drop a comment below this video. Thank you so much for watching me, and see you soon. Bye.